global rights and advocate for sustainable justice, held an high-level strategic meeting at Abuja in order to provide solution to some draconian laws affecting the civic space. Biodun Bayewu, the executive director, while interacting with newsmen at Abuja, said the civil space has been repressed by many laws, and as the 2023 election is approaching, Nigerians must ensure to hold government accountable on various laws and policy affecting the civil space.
This convening is a solutions lab to review draconian laws by the government and how civil society should engage on these issues. The civic space in Nigeria is being repressed by many laws. So, for example, our colleagues at Spaces for Change have recorded more than 426 infractions on the civic space by the government, a lot of them against the media, more than 112 against the media. Currently, we have more than 9 draconian bills at the National Assembly that are a threat to not just the civic space, to the security and the cohesion of our nationhood. And we cannot allow that to continue. We're going into 2023, and we must begin to think of how to engage as a people beyond just the voting and the politics around elections, to ensure we are able to hold government accountable to the laws and the policies that they prefer to our civic space.
Chino Obiagu, the chairman, Human Rights Institute, Nigerian Bar Association, said the role of judiciary is to balance power and protect the freedom of Nigerians, but has lost its role.
Oh yes, the constitutional role of judiciary is to balance power, executive power, legislative power. That is why it is said that judiciary is the last hope of the common man. So if the executive is trying to muzzle the society and the legislature is making laws that will also restrict freedom, it is the role of judiciary. If they don't do that, they have failed the Nigerian people. And that is why we are concerned that judiciary in Nigeria so far have not shown that passion to protect freedoms. We've seen cases just this morning, a young boy who sent a message on Facebook criticizing the action of a government of Akwa Ibom State was sent to 1 month imprisonment. How could a court do that? Restricting right to freedom of expression. So judiciary has so far not responded to the need of our people, and I think it is important that we draw that attention to them, that closing the digital space will also affect the judiciary. Because if they finish with the civil society and with the labor and all the groups, then the judiciary will be emasculated. So I think the judiciary has a role to play to ensure that any draconian law is set aside. For instance, we've seen Cybercrime Act that provides in section 24 that you cannot tweet or use social media or digital means to criticize government.
Maxwell Kadiri said as the election is approaching, it will divert the attention of lawmakers to campaigning and therefore making the lawmaking process lose its diligence, which might lead to another draconian law.
In a few weeks, focus will strictly be on campaigns and elections, and the attention span for lawmaking and governance generally will take a backseat. But it's still not impossible to begin a process of engagement with the assembly in the hope, that where it is possible to still get some attention and presence, that some of that is still done before the assembly comes to an end. Like you recall, which is now becoming like a practice. After the elections, they then come back and then try to rush a few things through, in that last couple of weeks. So that is one possibility. Although the challenge with that is the diligence and thoroughness that needs to be applied to the process of lawmaking is lost, because they are now running a race against time, and mistakes could be made, or in some instances pressure could also be had. So it swings both ways. You could actually have it deal with some of the draconian provisions, or you could actually even have them enact other laws that have further draconian provisions, which then becomes another challenge.
Abosede Adepoju, G24 TV International News.